Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today, I'll be showing you the recap of a 2019 mystery thriller film titled Inferno. As always, spoiler alert, watch out, and take care. The movie opens with a webinar on overpopulation. Dr. Symbologist, who has strong views on overpopulation depleting resources on an enormous scale, delivers a briefing. During his presentation, he suggests that if action is not taken to protect the Earth, the planet will take matters into its own hands. In short, the Earth has 5 major extinction events, and Symbologist wants to create the 6th one by unleashing a deadly plague. Following a brief introduction, the plot shifts to Symbologist on the run from the World Health Organization agents. Despite his attempts to escape, it seems as though the entire world is closing in on him. Agent Bouchard manages to apprehend Symbologist and demands that he hand over the Inferno. Symbologist refuses, and as he jumps from the building, he narrates that his acquaintance is his contingency plan, and the Inferno will be unleashed at any cost. Symbologist's storyline comes to an end at the beginning of the plot, and the focus shifts to Robert Langdon. It looks like he had a major accident, and now his memories are gone. Due to amnesia, he is seeing weird things, like the hell of Dante. In his flashbacks, he also remembers a woman who urges him to seek and find. Somehow, Symbologist, the lady, and Langdon are related because Symbologist narrates seeking and finding his acquaintances before dying. Langdon's psychic episode ended when Dr. Brooks entered the room and assured him that he would recover within a day or two. During their conversation, one of Brooks' colleagues informed her that a police officer named Veneta had arrived to investigate Langdon. However, when Veneta arrived, she shot Brooks' colleague, making her intentions clear. She either wanted to kill Langdon or had something to gain from him. Brooks acted on her instincts and managed to save Langdon by escaping through the back door. As they sat in the cab, Langdon had a vision of the same woman wearing a mask, and shortly after, a flood of blood burst through the hospital. His vision then shifted back to when he first got into this mess. Brooks takes Langdon to her apartment and starts questioning him about why Veneta is after him. She reveals that Langdon kept saying very sorry while he was still unconscious. Langdon has no idea what he has done or why Veneta wants him dead. Brooks suggests calling the police, but Langdon disagrees because he wants to find out what he has done before getting into more trouble. Shortly afterward, Langdon logs into his email and finds a message from Exano, who says that they are also after him, but he managed to hide and that the item they stole is safe. The plot thickens with suspense at this point, and there's more to come. Langdon finds a device in his suit, which Brooks identifies as a biotube used for carrying viruses. Brooks becomes frightened, but Langdon opens the tube, which suggests that he's the owner of this biotube. After calling the police, Langdon discovers a painting of Dante's Hell in Brooks' apartment. Upon closer examination, Langdon realizes that the painting has been modified, and there's a note from Symbologist quoting Dante. The note says that the truth will only be glimpsed through the eyes of death. Before they have a chance to fully comprehend the meaning of the quote, Veneta arrives. Langdon and Brooks escape in a car, and as they try to unravel the mystery, the plot takes a turn toward a private security firm. The CEO of the firm, Harry Sims, instructs his assistants to have Veneta kill Langdon because he has lost his memories and doesn't know what he is doing. Sims also wants to watch his client's video, which happens to be Symbologist. The assistant informs Sims that it's against the company's policy to watch the video before the deadline. But Sims doesn't care because the client is dead, and the video is the only thing that can reveal what they are up against. On the contrary, Langdon realizes that he wasn't saying very sorry back in the hospital. He was saying Verasi, the artist of the famous painting Seek and Find. Langdon and Brooks head to Palazzo Vecchio, where the Battle of Marciano paintings are located. However, upon their arrival, they are confronted by Hu and other forces who are waiting to arrest Langdon. Even Sinsky, Hu's senior officer, is present. Despite the obstacles, Langdon and Brooks manage to sneak into Palazzo Vecchio and locate the paintings with the Seek and Find flag. Before they can make any sense of their findings, Langdon is confronted by Marta, who seems to know him. Although they are friends, Langdon has no memory of her. He pretends to know everything while conversing with her, and during their conversation, Marta tells him that the last time they were there, he was fixated on the mask of Dante. Langdon is bewildered at that moment and thinks that it is somehow related. He asks Marta to let them see the mask again because this mask must be the one which Symbologist talked about. However, when they arrive in the room, they discover that the mask has been stolen. Martha reviews the CCTV footage, and they see Langdon stealing the mask. Langdon still can't remember it, and they hurry to the escape route after realizing that Langdon is guilty of stealing the mask. While on the run, Langdon focuses on Ignazio's email and discovers that he has hidden the mask where he works. The duo embarks on another adventure. On the other hand, Sims watches Zorber's video and is shocked after hearing about his plans to unleash a deadly plague virus known as the Inferno. Luckily, Sims has seen the video before the deadline, and upon discovering Zorber's sinister plans, directs his assistant to stop working on them. Langdon and Brooks have found the mask and another clue, which Brooks believes indicates that Dante was infected with the virus in Venice. This leads Langdon to believe that Zorber's plan is to unleash the virus in Venice. Just then, Bouchard, who is the head of the SRS team, arrives and reveals that he was the one who gave him the pointer to the code. Langdon has a brief flashback and remembers meeting a woman. Bouchard then reveals that Sinsky is working for a foreign government to sell the virus. Before they can discuss further, Bouchard warns them that they have no time, as Sinsky may already be on their tail, and takes them to Venice by train, posing Langdon as a passenger on a plane to Geneva. On the train, Langdon has a painful flashback and remembers Sinsky asking him for help. He realizes that Sinsky is his ally, not Bouchard. Langdon and Brooks then trick Bouchard and escape the train. Sims, on the other hand, arrives at the airport, where Sinsky is present to confront Langdon. Sinsky cares about Langdon and is angered by what Sims has been doing for Zorberst. Sims, however, is not the bad guy. He is just a service provider who had no idea what his client's intentions were. Sims volunteers to help Sinsky find Langdon, and while they are making a plan, Langdon and Brooks arrive in Venice. After investigating, Langdon predicts that they are in the wrong country and that the plague will be unleashed in Istanbul. However, before they can escape, Bouchard finds them. They rush into the museum and trick Bouchard once again. However, this time when Brooks escapes through the basement, she shows her true colors and double-crosses Langdon. At that point in the story, we realize that she is Zorber's acquaintance, and all she wanted from Langdon was to get the location where Zorber wanted to unleash the Inferno and get the Inferno pointer. Brooks heads to Constantinople, and Langdon is captured by Bouchard. Bouchard demands the Inferno pointer from Langdon, intending to sell the virus to foreign governments. When Bouchard learns that Langdon doesn't have the pointer, he decides to kill him. Before he can shoot, Sims arrives and kills Bouchard. Sims apologizes to Langdon for involving him in the situation, but Langdon doesn't know who he is. Sims revealed that he created the alternative reality scenario by faking his accident and injecting a serum that causes temporary amnesia. Sims orchestrated Langdon's trust in Brooks, and all of Langdon's actions up to this point were staged. Langdon forgives him because Sims has saved his life, and shortly after, he reunites with Sinsky. Then everyone heads to Constantinople. They have no idea where to look for the virus, but suddenly, Langdon realizes that the Inferno virus must be near the tomb of Dandalo. They rush to the spot, and Langdon sees the water turning a bloody color. Sinsky tells her team to jam the signals and not to let anyone leave. The scene triggers his flashback, and he is sure that Brooks is here somewhere, planting the virus in the water. Sims discovers Brooks trying to escape after planting the virus, and tries to stop her, but he is killed. Langdon rushes to confront her, and pleads for her to reconsider, warning her that many innocent people will die if she proceeds. Brooks remains determined, convinced that the collateral damage is necessary to prevent a larger crisis. Brooks then presses a button on her cell phone, which appears to be a remote detonator for explosives. But due to Sinsky's signal jamming, the bombs fail to detonate. Brooks jumps into the water to manually detonate the bombs, but Sinsky manages to contain the virus just in time. Brooks' plan to kill half the world's population ultimately fails. The film concludes with a thought-provoking question. Was Brooks justified in her actions? Is wiping out half the population the only solution to save the Earth's resources? Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for even more videos just like this. And if you have a movie you'd like us to recap, let us know in the comment section below. And we'll see you next time. Take care.